News Review from BBC Learning English.
Hello and welcome to News Review, the program where we show you how to use the language from the latest news stories in your everyday English. I'm Dan, and joining me today is Catherine. Good morning, Catherine.
Hi, Dan.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Well, I'm very well, thank you for asking. What's our story?
Story today is about calories and obesity.
Calories and obesity. Wow. Okay, let's hear more from this BBC Radio 4 news bulletin.
Health officials have called on the food industry to cut the calorie content of their products to help combat obesity. Public Health England has set the target of a 20% reduction by 2024 for restaurant, retailers and manufacturers. If it isn't achieved, the government has said legislation is an option.
So, story from the UK today. Public Health England, which is a UK government body, has said that British people are too fat. It wants the food industry to reduce the number of calories in its products like burgers and pizzas. Now, they want this reduction to be 20% by the year 2024. If that doesn't happen, the UK government is willing to consider changing the law.
I see. Well, so it's serious then. Okay, so you've been looking around at the news and chosen 3 expressions and words that we can use to talk about this story. What have you found?
So today we have drive, excess and creep.
Drive, excess and creep. Okay, can we have our first headline then, please?
We can. Let's go to Yahoo. The headline is, Britain needs to go on a diet, says Public Health England as it launches obesity drive.
Drive. Organised attempt to achieve something. Now, I'm confused, Catherine. I thought driving is a verb and we use it with a car. Drive the car.
You're absolutely right, Dan. If you get in your car and drive it, you're making that car move in a particular direction to reach your destination. So you're taking action to get somewhere. Now, drive as a noun form here means taking action to achieve something. So it's a connection between moving to a certain place.
Okay, and this might be, for example, a business or an organisation or something along those lines, right?
Absolutely, yes. Yes, it's mostly government, in this case, a government drive, or you can have a company drive. It's usually an organised attempt, yeah.
So this expression, obesity drive, is an attempt to achieve obesity?
Good question. So we often use a noun in front of the noun drive to make a compound noun. Now, this compound noun can either be something you want to happen or something you want to avoid happening. So an obesity drive is actually organised action to avoid obesity. And we can use other words like poverty. A poverty drive would be organised effort to reduce poverty. We can also, of course, use a noun in front of drive to mean that you're actually trying to achieve something. So, for example, a fundraising drive would mean organised efforts to raise money. Or a company might want to get a lot of new staff, so they would have a recruitment drive. That means an organised effort to recruit more people.
Sounds like my father, when he gets angry, he goes on a cleaning drive.
Oh, does he?
Through the house.
Everything.
So he cleans everything like crazy.
Fantastic.
Works out all his frustrations.
Come to my house when you're angry, Mr. Dan. You'll be very welcome.
Wonderful. Okay, let's drive onwards to our second headline.
Okay, Huffington Post now. Children are consuming up to 500 excess calories per day, report reveals.
Excess, an amount more than necessary. Now, I'm confused, Catherine. I thought XS were the letters that you get in your clothing when they're extra small.
XS, extra small. Yes, That's right. That is correct. You can also have XL, extra large. Not quite about clothing, Dan, but the X, or actually in this case, EX as a prefix, excess, spelled EXCESS, means too much. If you think about the word extra, it means more than you need, more than necessary. So excess means too much of something. It's being used here as an adjective, which means too many calories. You can use it as a noun. You can say, if you've got too much fabric, get rid of the excess.
Or like a baker when he makes a pie and he cuts off the excess around the edge of the
Excess
pie.
pastry, yeah, that's right. Or cut off the excess
So what's the preposition then?
of. You can have an excess of something.
Okay.
You can have an excess of stock, an excess of material, an excess of clothing, and you might have a sale or give it to charity if you've got an excess of anything. You need to get rid of it usually if you've got an excess of something.
Now, forgive me if I'm wrong, but you can also do something to excess, can't you?
Most definitely, yes. You can smoke to excess. You can drink to excess. Usually it's something that you do too much of and there's usually a bad result. So come on, Dan, what do you do to excess?
I'm on the spot. I probably eat biscuits to excess, I would say. When they're there, I can't resist them. Biscuits.
Think of those calories, Dan.
Well, let's move on to our third headline.
Okay, so we're going to the Bath Echo or the Bath Echo, depending on your pronunciation. The headline is 400, 600, 600 campaign launches to help adults tackle calorie creep.
Creep. Slow, gradual change or growth. Now, for the third time, I'm confused. I thought a creep was like a person who makes you feel uneasy.
Yeah, somebody who makes you feel uncomfortable because of their behaviour, or they invade your personal space, or they're, often too interested in you and you feel, ooh, go away from me. A creep is somebody like that. Nothing to do with people in this case. Creep here is actually more to do with movement. Now, if we think of small animals or insects, spiders or mice, beetles, they move kind of slowly and secretly. They don't want you to see them. That movement is creep. So you might see a mouse creeping along the side of a wall, for example. Slow movement that you don't notice. Often in this sense, it's about numbers growing, getting more and more. So if you're eating more and more calories, you're eating your biscuits, Dan, you have another one, and then you have another one. And the number of biscuits is increasing day by day, but you don't really notice because you're not counting. That is what you might call biscuit creep.
Biscuit creep.
Biscuit creep, yes. So creep, and in this case, the headline we're talking about is calorie creep.
Okay.
And it's describing the way that British adults, in this case, are slowly every day eating a few more calories that they don't really notice.
Thank you very much. Well, let's creep on to our Facebook challenge. Now, today we posted on Facebook, top health official says Britain is too fat and needs to go on a diet. Which of these phrases does not mean diet? Is it A, slim down, B, shed weight, or C, bulk out? How did they do, Catherine?
Did really well, Dan. You didn't really catch many people out at all for this one. The answer is, of course, bulk out. And if you bulk out, you actually get bigger rather than smaller, which is the point of dieting. So well done to Parry Mary, Yasir Ahmed, Albert N, and everybody else who said answer C.
Well done, everybody. All right, could you please recap the vocabulary for us?
Most definitely. We had drive, organised attempt to achieve something, excess, an amount more than necessary, and creep, slow, gradual change or growth.
Thank you. Now, if you'd like to test yourself on today's vocabulary, there is a quiz that you can take on our website. That's bbclearningenglish.com, where not only will you find everything about this program, but a whole host of other fantastic materials and programs for you to learn English from. Thank you very much for joining us, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
News Review from BBC Learning English.